Yeah, you know, we said our goodbye once, and this has been a really great experience, this bowl game, to spend some more time around them and be around them one more time. It will be bittersweet tomorrow. This certainly is an ideal situation for the players or for me or for my staff, but we all care about each other, and I don't know what the alternative would have been. So we're doing the best we can, and the guys have prepared well, and it's been an honor to be around them one more time.
Yeah, Carlton Davis will not play in our bowl. He had illness earlier in the week, has not gotten better. Went home yesterday. I just felt like he'd be better off, you know, there with the illness he has. As far as coming back next year, you know, with all those guys that are considering or, you know, trying to get their draft grade status, you know, we'll talk about that, you know, after the bowl game.
Well, it's hard to go undefeated. It's hard to have an undefeated regular season, much less win a championship game or a bowl game. I was with Coach Malzahn last night, and we talked about a game we were both coaching in where Auburn was undefeated and Oregon was undefeated, and only one could come out of that. And they kicked a field goal at the end to beat us. So they were undefeated that year. There's not very many teams in the country that can run the table, and I'm so proud and happy for our players that they were able to do that this year. And you know, this game, like I said, it's an honor to be here. We're playing a really good football team. I know our guys are going to battle. They're fighters, and they're looking forward to it. But win or lose in this game, this was a special group of guys, and it was a special season. Seems like a lifetime ago, Mike. You know, I said this a bunch. The first thing we had to do was get them to enjoy playing football again and to believe again. But we had a lot of guys with fight in them, and when I met with them, they all thought the team should have been a lot better than what it was, and they thought they could accomplish a lot. And I think that spirit, a little bit of chip on their shoulder, and the confidence that they could prove that they were a better team than what that record had indicated. I think that drive is a lot of what got us to where we are. Because without that motivation, I don't know if they'd have bought in as fast to what we wanted them to do. I don't know if they'd have come together as a team quite as well. But talking to the players this week, it's light years from where it was then, and I love where the program is right now and where the team is, and I look forward to watching them going forward. Well, we always prepare the same way, and our kids understand that good preparation leads to good play. By the time you get to the game's pretty much already played, depending on how prepared you are. And you know, this is going to be a tough game. These guys are really good at every position, exceptionally good on the front lines on both sides of football. So we have to be ready to be physical. And I know our kids, and our kids have a lot of fight in them. And I think they're excited to play. Well, that's always a challenge. It's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for everybody playing in a bowl game. You try to manage your schedule in between the last game and the bowl as well as you can. We certainly prepared well, but there are a lot of circumstances surrounding the game. And when you watch the bowl games, you know, a lot of teams that had coaching changes and other unusual circumstances, they're not faring very well. Bowl games are about matchups more than anything, depending on what kind of matchup you get, and probably just as much about who's motivated to be there and who's not. And you know, hopefully our guys are excited to play. I think they are, and we'll see how the matchup goes with Auburn. They're a really good team, but I know our players are, like I said, are prepared well and excited to play football.
Yeah, you know, seniors going into bowl games, I think are very important. You know, with the motivation that goes with each team and all that. They usually set the tone, and you know, sometimes you see these bowl games this day and time that groups already kind of looking ahead, but our seniors are locked in. I mean, we weren't happy the way we finished the last game. Matter of fact, in the same stadium, and when we got back and after all the hurt and everything was over, I mean, they rolled up their sleeves. They said, we need to win this bowl game. This will be our 11th win if we do get a victory, which we've only done 6 times in school history. And so they start talking about that, and they start talking about the future, not just this game, but if we were able to win, give us momentum, you know, for the future. And I think we're in a great spot for the future. And this group has really set the foundation. And we're playing a very good team, one of the best teams in college football, the only undefeated team. Got a lot of respect for their players, their coaches, Coach Frost, I got a lot of respect for him from the standpoint that, he's taking another job. He chose to do the right thing. He chose to be there for his team, and I think that's a great example for coaches in the future, because you see college football changing and all the jobs and changing and all that, but very impressed with them. But our seniors have done a super job, and I really believe our team will be ready, and they need to be, because we're playing a very good team.
Through this process, it's tough. It was tough during the end of the season. It was tough when I told the team. It was tough trying to balance a couple things. I think the payoff has been being around these guys for one more week. Through all that, we tried to make every decision in a way that we were doing the right thing. Not the selfish thing, not the thing that was easiest for us, but what the right thing was. And it's certainly not ideal to be wearing two hats and to be flying back and forth to two places, and those things are hard. But the right thing to do was to be here and try to help these kids as much as we could, and hopefully us being here helps a little bit. But I just don't know what the alternative would have been. I think the payoff for all that is going to be this bowl week and being able to spend a little bit extra time with the UCF family and this football team, and they're people that are going to be special to me for the rest of my life. So that's probably the best part of this whole thing.
Yeah, of course, like we've done, in some of our rotations when he hadn't been in, we do have some depth. Javaris is one guy that has experience. He's healthy. Matter of fact, all of our other guys will be ready to go. That's a good thing. This rest has been very good to heal some of those guys up that were banged up, in the last game. But obviously, Carlton is a great player. He's done a super job for us this year. And anytime you lose a player like that, But the good thing is we do have some depth on the back end. We've got some experience on the back end, and but Carlton's had a big time year.
I hope it's a football team. I think a lot of people have seen us play this year. We played two really good teams at the end of the year, and had two unbelievable games against USF and Memphis. I think a lot of people got to see that, and I know a lot of folks are going to tune in and see this one. We have a big challenge ahead of us. Like I said, these guys are as good as we've seen at almost every position on the field. So our players know they have a challenge. They're excited for it. But I know when people tune in, they're going to see a group of guys that love being around each other and play for each other. And as long as I'm coaching, that's the kind of team I want to have.
Yeah, I know for us, it was different. There's no doubt. We were trying to recruit us. We were preparing for the SEC championship game, and of course, then trying to finish that up. And it was different. It was challenging. Then, of course, once we got into bowl prep and all that, early on we were really focused on our young guys developing, and we did a little bit on Central Florida. So it wasn't as big a deal as far as preparation, but just the newness of it and playing a championship game, that was a challenge.
Yeah, I think it was a challenge in my situation, even moving to another university, another institution, and trying to balance all that out was tough. But like I said before to you guys, we use the same formula that we've used at Oregon and Nebraska and other places I've been. We played in these New Year's Day bowls, and it's tough to balance recruiting with preparation. But we had the same number of practices to get ready for this that we did at Oregon when we were getting ready for a Fiesta Bowl or a Rose Bowl. So it was tough to balance all that, but we definitely didn't sacrifice the preparation.
Well, you turn the film on, and it didn't take you long. You can see they're a very good team. Offensively, very impressed. A great scheme, really matches their personnel. They have a lot of speed on offense. Defensively, they play extremely hard. They've got some impact players. They're a very good football team, so that's what happens. And you don't get to a bowl like this unless you're really good. And probably one of the things that really stands out to me about them too is they won some close games. They find ways to win close games, and that's a trait of a very good football team.
Well, turnovers are always the biggest stat in football. We've been really good at that this season. this game's going to be the same way. We can't turn it over to these guys. We have too big a challenge on our hands anyway. We don't need to give them any extra short fields or points. Listen, our guys need to be ready. They're playing a bigger group than we probably played all year. This group probably hits harder than any team we've played all year. You know, we have small, fast guys. They have big, fast guys. So our guys need to take care of the ball and protect it. And I'm sure turnovers will play a big part in this game, just like everyone.
Yes, you know, earlier in the year we didn't do a very good job protecting the football the first few games, and then we kind of got in a rhythm, did a really good job protecting the football. Obviously the last game, that's really what stuck out to me. We had 2 critical turnovers, and you know, the better opponent you play, the more important that is, and it's hard to overcome, and this game is no different, and it'll be very important.
It would help a lot until next year when everybody forgets about it and they look at all the games next year. You know, like I said, these bowl games come down to matchups, and you know, people are going to put the onus for the entire conference on us to see if the conference deserves it to be in the conversation, and if the Power 6 deserves to be in the conversation, or the Group of 5. You know, there's been games where Houston beat Florida State, and USF beat somebody good, and Utah beat Alabama. And there's also games where you don't win. This game's about this game. This game's not really about that. People try to make it about that, but it isn't. Well, that's the first I heard of it, so I was taking notes under the table. I was hoping the list would keep growing, the 4 defensive linemen maybe, and the running back. They've got good players everywhere. They have a bunch of good players in the secondary, and we're missing a player or 2 as well. You know, Aaron Evans has been a big part of what we've been doing and been the anchor on our offensive line. And he fought through a back injury all year and just couldn't do it anymore. So inevitably in these bowl games, there's 1 or 2 situations like that. And I feel bad for both the kids that don't get a chance to play in this game, but I'm sure they've got plenty of good corners. Well, we got a couple different ways that we're gonna play and try to solve the issue there, and a couple different guys that can play. But these are guys that have been in football games, and I think are excited about the opportunity to play. Auburn's front 4, like I said, is as good as we faced, so I think the guys are excited for that. But they need to be physical, and a couple of them are gonna have to grow up fast and play well in roles that they haven't really spent a lot of time in. So. Let's rock. Here we go.
You're exactly right. I think this is the 3rd game in the last 5 games a year we played an undefeated team. I don't know very many programs have done that. It's a huge challenge. You know, the good thing is we do have experience with it, but you know that's also the challenge that there's you know, only 1 undefeated team left right now, and we happen to be playing them. So it's a huge challenge.
It's better to have fast guys than slow guys. We're going to keep looking for them.
Gus Malzahn?
I'll second that. It's better to have fast guys than slow guys. We're going to keep recruiting too.
Yeah, when I got to UCF, I must have got 2,000 messages to keep Coach Beck, and I didn't know who Coach Beck was at the time, but I got to know him, and it was obvious to me that he was somebody that I wanted on my staff after I got to know him. And he's one of the best men that I know, and he's a really good coach. Leaving UCF, you know, I thought the right thing to do was to give every one of the coaches an opportunity to come if they wanted to. And I extended that offer to Coach Beck as well, and wasn't sure what he was going to do, but decided he wanted to keep the group together and stay with us in Lincoln. And you know, it's good for us. I'm kind of sad to see him leave UCF, but I'm excited to have him with me as well. And he's going to be a big part of what we do. Well, he'll put on a show. He's going to make some plays. We got to protect him. We got to run the ball a little bit to make sure they can't tee off on us in the passing game. Kenzie's a special player, and a lot of people around the country have gotten a chance to see that. I think some more will get a chance to see that tomorrow. We're so glad we recruited him. You know, he took a little heat his freshman year as he was learning and growing. And in 1 year, he turned into one of the better quarterbacks in college football. Kid's like a son to me, and I'm really excited for his success. Yeah, you know, coming in, I didn't want to give them a lot of rules, a lot of do's and don'ts. I wanted to get them to the point where there was one rule: do the right thing and don't do the wrong thing. And I think anytime you have an organization where the players are leading themselves, the players are fixing problems in the locker room themselves, and the coaches don't have to do everything, then you have a really strong team and organization. And that takes leaders, that takes guys that are doing the right things themselves so they can show other people the way. And it takes a lot of courage to correct one of your teammates. We're lucky that we've had some of those leaders on our team, Pat Jasinski and Wyatt Miller and Shaquem, a bunch of other guys. It was an easy year for me to coach because there wasn't much I had to do because most of the problems got fixed from within.
Yeah, the transition, I didn't get a chance to coach the ball game. And that's something that was pretty tough, being able to have to watch the team that you coached playing a ball game in a hotel room. That was really challenging. That's why I'm saying how much respect I have for Scott, coaching the game and all that. And, it's a whirlwind. We had to hire a staff. We had to start recruiting and develop those relationships with your players. And there's a lot of moving parts, but I have a lot of great memories with that.
Yeah, he was coach to me when he was talking to me about having a baby. Jordan's the old man on the team. Spent some time in professional baseball before he came to us. I'm excited that he came back this year. I think he had for him, probably not as good a year as he would have liked last year, coming off the knee injury from the year before. And to have the year he's had now this year, I think was great for him. I think he's going to have a chance to play at the next level. He's big and fast and has all the tools. On top of all that, he's just great to be around, and really enjoyed having him on our team. Well, we try to teach our kids not to say anything that's going to rile the other team up. But AK is confident. I think if we were playing a track meet tomorrow, or running a track meet tomorrow, he might win. I really do. But we're having a football game tomorrow. So we talked to him, and I'm glad he's confident. But I'm pretty sure Auburn's seeing a lot of fast guys this year with the teams they play.